We are now ready to start playing the top of page 6. So please make sure you have your whole clarinet put together before you keep watching this video. You can press pause. Okay, so whole clarinet together. We're going to check that the pieces are aligned. So we look in the back that we want to see reed, thumb hole, thumb hook. If any of those things are out of alignment, twist. We want to twist from the barrel. Don't grab onto your mouthpiece because you don't want to touch your reed. So we're in alignment. Okay, and then you can put your clarinet in rest position, which is up on your leg like this. Just a friendly reminder, when we're putting our hands on our clarinet, our left hand goes on top, just like recorder. So left hand on all woodwind instruments goes on top of the instrument, which is why I'm holding it up top with my left hand. So let's look at page 6. We're looking at the song number 1, Time for Band. Now you're going to see some boxes under the song names. They're kind of a light yellow color. It's going to say the name of a note. It's going to show you where that note is on the staff, if it's a line or a space note. And then there's a little picture with dots. So I'd like you to put your finger on your book right where it says number 1, Time for Band, and there's a box under it with an E. So put your finger on that box. We want to look at the picture of the circles that are colored in and not colored in. That is called a fingering chart. A fingering chart tells you which holes you need to press or not press to play that note. So let's get our clarinet in our hands and then we'll figure out how to make the note E. We talked about it a little bit in our last video, but this is for real. We're going to learn it right out of the book. So remember, when we're holding our clarinet, it's hanging off our right thumb. You don't grab onto it. That's bad. You hang it over where your thumbnail is, and this muscle right here on the side of your thumb should get sore. Once it stops being sore, you'll know you have the right amount of thumb muscles to play and hold your clarinet, okay? So if we look at that little picture in the E square, you don't press anything down here. We're just holding the hook over our thumb. I do see 2 dots colored in for E. And if you look at the picture, there's a teardrop shape and a circle shape. Those are the keys on the back of your clarinet. So we're not going to press the teardrop shape, but we are going to cover the circle with your thumb. Okay, so we press it all the way down. I see another circle colored in, and that's the first hole on the top. Now here's the deal. For the clarinet to work properly, you need to press hard enough so that air can't get out the holes. And you'll know if you're pressing hard enough by, once you're done pressing, take your fingers off. You should see circles on your fingers where they were just on the hole. So try that. Give me a thumb and a 1. Press them hard and then look at your fingers. Oh, look, a whole circle. If you don't see a whole circle, you didn't press down the entire key, which means air is going to get out and it's going to be pretty squeaky. So let's try to make the note E before we play the song. I need a thumb, a 1. Remember, you need to lick your reed. We need to make our blanket. Insert, bite down on top, and smile with the sides of your mouth. Remember, when you blow, you need to make a t before you blow, not but t. Okay, so let's try E together. Just playing an E. Thumb in 1, 2, ready. Okay, maybe yours didn't go for that long. Maybe it's not as clear. It didn't come out right away, but that's okay as long as it's something like that. Okay, you might also notice that your clarinet's kind of squeaky. Okay, I will help you and try to give you some helpful hints about how to be less squeaky, but mostly it's making these muscles in your mouth really strong so your clarinet's not moving around. So if I go to play E, but I put too much in my mouth, nobody wants to hear that. Okay, so that's too much in your mouth. So I'm gonna pull it less, not the whole thing in my mouth. That's good, okay? If you don't T sound and you just randomly blow, no good. You gotta have a flat M lips with the T sound with your tongue. Okay? So right now, you can put your clarinet in rest position, and I want you to put your finger right on the song, number 1, Time for Band. We're going to say the notes, okay? So if you see a note on the bottom line of the treble clef, that's E. And if it's looks like a donut, then it's a 4-beat note. It's a whole note. So we're going to put our finger right on it. We're going to say however many E's there are. If you see an upside down hat, that is a whole rest. And rest does not mean take a nap or skip ahead. It just means don't play your instrument for 4 beats or however many beats it says. So let's say the notes for number 1, time for band. Put your finger right on it and move your finger as you say the notes. Here we go. 1, 2, say the notes. E, rest. 3, 4. E, rest. 2, 3, 4. E, rest. 2, 3, 4. E, rest, and the song's over. How do I know the song's over? Well, look, there's a little arrow. It says, a double bar line marks the end of the music. Basically, that's a stop sign. That is when you are allowed to put your instrument back like this. Okay, we don't put our instrument up and down during rests. If you're in the middle of a song and there's a rest, you just, you stay in playing position, but you don't blow. When the song is over, you can put your instrument in rest position. If there was no double bar, if it's just a single bar line, that means you have to go on to the next line. All these songs are 1 line long, so there should be a double bar line at the end of all these lines. Okay, let's play. We're gonna lick our reed. We've got our thumb in 1, squeeze down. Now we don't change our fingers in this song, so you should never pick up your E fingers. They should stay down for the whole song, even in the rest. We don't need to go, no. Leave them down. You keep your fingers down even when you take your mouth off to breathe. Please make sure you stop the air coming out from your clarinet when the note is over. So if it's a 4-beat note, after 4 beats goes by, you stop the air. So can we practice that? You're going to play an E, and the way you stop the air is not by ripping your clarinet out of your mouth. It's by putting your tongue up and blocking the air. So check it out. My tongue is down when I'm blowing, and when I want the air to stop, I put my tongue up, and the air stops. So why don't you try it a couple times? Okay, that's how we're going to stop. We're not going to, this is bad. Okay, we're going to stop the air with our tongue. Then you can take your mouth off to take a breath or whatever you need to do. All right, we have our E fingers ready. We're licking our reed. We're making our blanket. Biting down on top. I will count you in. You will hear my foot tapping on the beat as soon as I start counting. You should pick a foot that you need to tap on the beat. It could be your right foot. It could be your left foot. Doesn't matter which foot, but you always tap. Even in the rest, you tap as soon as I start counting. I need a foot check. A back check. Make sure your back is away from the chair. E fingers check. Here we go. This is number 1. Time for band. 1, 2, ready, play. And rest. 2, 3, 4. And rest. 2, 3, 4. And rest. 2, 3, 4. Rest, and the song's over. Awesome. Put your clarinet back in rest position. A couple things we want to talk about. Your clarinet should not be pointing at your computer screen or your music stand. Your clarinet goes down in between your knees, so please make sure when you're sitting, you leave room to have your clarinet between your knees, okay? Another thing we want to talk about is that when we are reading music, even though you might be looking at your computer screen to see what I'm doing, when you are playing a song, your eyes stay on the book. So your book should actually be between you and your computer screen on your music stand so that you can see me on the screen and be watching your music at the same time. If your eyes get confused while you're reading your music, that's okay. Just keep them moving forward like you're reading a sentence. All right, we're going to look at number 2. I see a different note in the box, and it is D. Now check it out. D is not on a line or a space. It's just kind of chilling there by itself. Okay, and I see an additional finger colored in for D. So we need thumb. 1 and 2. Number 2 is another metal ring that you need to press in. You can press it and then look at your fingers. Make sure that it was filling in the whole circle. Let's try the note D. So we have thumb. 1, 2. Please make sure your left hand is on top of your clarinet. I can't see what you're doing, but sometimes a lot of times, people forget and try to switch their hands around. Left on top, no matter which hand you write with. Okay, let's try that D note. Like you read. Let's just try a D. Here we go. You try it. Go ahead. Okay, and now we can play the song. The fun continues. We are going to scan our eyes through and make sure we don't need to change our fingers. We don't. It's D the whole time. Okay, and when we get to the double bar, we know we can put our clarinet back in rest position. So let's do it. D fingers down. Thumb. 1, 2. And here we go. 1, 2. Number 2. Play. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Rest, and the song's over. Awesome. Rest position. Shake your hands out. Sometimes your right hand thumb starts cramping up because those muscles aren't developed yet. That's okay. Shake it out. We'll put it back in. Okay, number 3, we get to use both notes from E and D. So we need to be able to tell the difference of what they look like. So E is the one with the line going straight through it. D chills out just below the line. I would like you to put your finger right on number 3. And we're going to say the notes and rest. So tell me the name of the note, and we'll say rest when it's a rest. So put your finger right on number 3, saying the notes. 1, 2, say and point. E, rest. 2, 3, 4. D, rest. 2, 3, 4. E, rest. 2, 3, 4. D, rest. 2, the song's over. Now here's the thing. You can't be switching your fingers while air is still going through your clarinet. So if you have an E for 4 beats, you need to stop the air with your tongue before you switch to D. Otherwise, I can hear your fingers moving, and no one wants to hear that. Okay, here we go. Let's try it. Number 3 starts with E, thumb in 1. Lick your reed, make your blanket. 1, 2, number 3, play. Rest, switch to D and play. Back to E, ready, play. Back to D, ready, play. Rest, and the song's over. Excellent. Shake out your hands. Okay, we have one more new note to learn. This is probably the most popular note, the most common note you're going to play. In 5th grade, it is called C. And C adds, yes, another finger. So let's check it out. Thumb, 1, 2. Now here's the deal. Your third hole is not a ring. It's actually just a hole in your clarinet. So why don't you check that out there? It's literally just a hole in the plastic, or if you have when you get a really, really nice clarinet, it will be wood. But right now we're all playing plastic. So thumb, 1, 2, 3. Okay, squeeze those fingers in and then look. Sometimes the finger number 3 isn't so strong and it doesn't always press down all the way. So please make sure when you're playing C, you actually squeeze in all the way. Let's try the sound of a C. Like you read, give me a foot check and a back check. It's the lowest note so far. All right, give it a try, a low C. Okay, now, sometimes this might happen. Okay, what I actually did on purpose to show you is that my middle finger isn't in the hole all the way. So the air is sneaking out the middle hole and it can't really make a C. So that's why we check that we're using our whole finger. That's called the pad of your finger, the fat part of your finger, is pressing into the holes all the way. Let's play number 4. You don't even have to change your fingers. It's C the whole time. This is 4 score. Let's get our C fingers ready. Thumb, 1, 2, 3. Foot check. Back check. Lick your lips check. Lick your reed. And here we go. Number 4. 1, 2. Ready, play. 2, forget about the T sound at the beginning. Rest, 2, 3, 4. Rest, and the song's over. Great. So we want to make sure we're really good at just playing an E, a D, and a C before we go on to the next video, because the next video is where we have to use all 3 notes in each song. So if you want to pause and just practice 1, 2, 3, and 4 again to make sure you can keep your mouth still for that long and you can hold your right fingers down, as soon as you feel ready, you can go to the next video.